its entire world is the music festival, the Horizon Festival. And this world is Colorado. Looks fantastic. I actually lived in Colorado for a while.
Oh, nice.
And this is an original version of Colorado that has all of the diversity you'd expect. So red rocks, mountains, it's got the plains, all packed in with some of the greatest driving roads in the world. But the way you actually play through the game is you show up as a festival driver. And your goal is twofold. You want to win races, of course, and there's a lot of different races. There's circuit races, point-to-point races, showcase races where you might race against a plane. Incredibly cool races. Yeah.
An airplane.
Exactly. So like having an old Mustang racing against a P-51 Mustang plane through checkpoints.
Okay.
It's just a cool way of racing. So that's kind of the sanctioned side of the Horizon Festival. But meanwhile, as you're driving around, you're getting points for drifting in and out of traffic and just hooning it up on the road. And when you're doing that, you're becoming more popular. So it's much more social in that way. You're becoming a popular driver and actually getting more wristbands.
Oh, wonderful. So what was the sort of idea for this different direction? Why was it that you decided to take it in sort of this, I guess, Burning Man for cars kind of an idea?
Well, it was actually born out of that vision. Gamers to car lovers to gamers. And we realized, Turn 10, fantastic studio. We've really tried to push with innovation and the like. But honestly, we thought if we could find a partner that shared our culture and our language and had a world-class dev team, together we could arm in arm actually push this genre forward with more innovation. So we went with Playground Games. They're located in Leamington Spa. They're an all-new company, but full of veterans. And the UK dev community, it's been fantastic for years. Signosis, Codemasters, Bizarre Creations, BlackRock. So Playground is able to become another hub of great racing game development. And they brought this Horizon into this vision. I basically challenged them. I said, hey, you get the vision. You get the culture. You know what we want to do. How would you express it? And the first thing they came back with was, man, it's youth culture. Bring that in. Bring music in. Get that going. And then they also brought in a DJ, Rob DeBank. So he's on BBC One. He's also a record label owner as well as a promoter. So he's promoted the Bestival Festival.
Yes.
In the UK. Very, very popular.
Great festival. Yeah.
So he was brought in actually as a consultant to do the radio stations, the music, as well as the look of this festival. Saying, look, tents would be like this in the US at like Coachella, and this is how you do the parking, and really make it completely authentic. Because that's the name of the game in Forza, authenticity.
Got a very important question. Will there be dubstep at this festival?
There is dubstep on the radio, and there's dubstep on the stage.
All dubstep, all the time.
Yeah.
I just want to remind people watching this on our live stream, if you send us an email either on the live stream page or you can send us over Twitter to GameSpotE3, hashtag GameSpotE3, then I'll ask Dan your questions. Do you feel a responsibility as one of the biggest car franchises out there to sort of bridge the gap between car enthusiasts and people who may want to play racing games but don't feel like they're part of that culture? Like how much, because that seems to be a lot of what you're doing here. It's bridging the social side of people who like cars and then people who just like playing driving games.
Absolutely, and that's what it comes down to. Our team is made up of hardcore gamers. I've put in 140 hours into Skyrim. We all play a ton of games, but also, we track our cars and have a great time playing with cars on the track. And our goal is to actually push both cultures forward. That's the whole gamers to car lovers to gamers. It's easy to say, but it actually means a lot to us. And honestly, I'm almost 40. I've got a couple kids, and I want them to be into cars the way I am.
Yeah.
And so I see it as our responsibility, not to compete against other this or what have you, but push the genre forward, push entertainment forward. And that's obviously a hugely lofty goal. And, I'm not silly. I know how lofty it is, but that's what keeps me coming to work every day is that passion and excitement to actually move it forward.
Just looking at the gameplay demo we're seeing here, yesterday we saw some sort of glorious vistas. I kind of want to go to Colorado now. The tourist board should be paying you guys some cash, I think. Right now we're looking at nighttime. What's the sort of variety in terms of environmental? Is it all desert based? Is it different like that? And also in terms of day-night cycles?
Well, once the Playground guys settled on having a festival as the hub, they knew it had to be open world. And once it went open world, they were looking for the right environment. So they went to 30 different environments and looked for ones that had great diversity. They had great driving as well as Vista diversity, and they settled on Colorado, which looks fantastic. And so when you're driving around in here, not only do you have the beautiful vistas in the Red Rocks area we're in right now, but you've got the plains, the driving roads are fantastic. Also, once you're in open world, a 24-hour day-night cycle just makes sense.
Yeah.
So we used a debug sheet to actually switch it from day to night kind of instantaneously, but it's a 24-hour cycle that's always going around. Now also, the developers at Playground have a lot of experience working on Colin McRae, Dirt, and some of those great franchises. So this open world also has off-road racing.
That's a first for the Forza series.
It is, absolutely. And having the expertise of the Colin McRae guys, we're able to take the Forza Motorsport engine, which is a fantastic simulation engine, running at 360 hertz, and update that with over 65 different surface types. Dirt, gravel,
65?
How
many types of dirt are there?
We're obsessive. That was actually part of the cultural thing we realized about the guys at Playground, the guys at Turn 10. Authenticity we take very seriously. Maybe to a fault. We think our fans appreciate it, so we take it seriously.
Got a question here from Carl Duran in Dublin, and a special shout out to everyone watching this in Europe. I know it's like probably nearly 11 p.m. or 12 at night time there. He's asked a very important question. Can you still paint your cars?
Absolutely.
So what type of customization is there in terms of in Forza
This
Horizon?
is a Forza game, and Forza is a fan-driven franchise, which means, of course, we have upgrades, and you've got a lot of cars that you can really have great experiences in, including off-road, and of course painting as well. So it's integrated with the website, and great painting, and you'll see plenty of cars with lots of liveries. Because you think about a summer music festival, it's all about showing off and showing your style. Well, it's always been important in Forza to hopefully erase the line between arcade and simulation and say, if you build the game correctly, you can have the foundation, the core, be an absolutely fantastic simulation, but then add assists. Things like TCS and ABS, driving assists, even steering assists, and then the green line, as well as things like rewind to make it easier to jump into. So this is an action racing game. It means you can pick it up, play, instantly be driving 150 miles per hour on a Viper down a highway, and at the same time, the underpinnings are a fantastic simulation engine.
What's your take on the sort of the driving game situation of the past 3 years? We've seen some great innovation from the guys at Codemasters. We've seen great innovation from you. We've also seen the problems that maybe Bazaar had with games like Blur, where games that seemed to be doing quite well or were popular with the people who played them didn't sell. How are you reading the sort of the divide between arcade and simulation, and is this a means of trying to bridge that gap, or is it just, do you see that the people who are fans of Forza are looking for maybe a different type of experience?
It's a great question. I can't say that I'm some industry expert about all of the business. I've been in the industry a long time, but it ebbs and flows quite a bit. For us personally, it was horrible to see some of the closures in the racing game space in the UK, and so we saw working with Playground as an opportunity to capture some of the great innovation and talent in the UK and bring it towards our franchise. So that was great. As far as arcade versus simulation, again, for me, I think if you build the game correctly, you can actually serve both audiences without sacrificing either.
Pierre Fouquet, I believe is his name, said, is there still Top Gear stuff in Horizon?
Well, the interesting thing is that Top Gear in Forza Motorsport 4 was kind of bringing levity to the game because the game had a serious tone to it. And so it's sort of like a play-by-play and a color commentary working together in tandem. Well, the Horizon Music Festival has a lot of character and a lot of social aspects just because it's a music festival. It also takes place in North America, in Colorado. So in a lot of ways, the alignment between Top Gear and Forza Horizon was not as clear-cut.